Yeah, so basically Hungary made a new legislation that prohibits sharing with minors any content portraying homosexuality or sex reassignment, taking all mention of gay and trans issues right off the school curriculum. So like these kids growing up, they can't.
Up until what age?
I'm not sure, but like they just don't want them to know about it, or like they don't want to like talk about it. Okay. So, so basically, right now, if you guys don't know, there's a soccer competition called UEFA Euro 2020 going on right now. So it's basically all the top countries in Europe. They just like battle it out in like a kind of a football tournament. And so Germany is playing against Hungary. It's coming up soon. And Germany, what they're planning to do is that their stadium, right, the one that's going to be playing the game against Hungary with, right, that stadium, they want to light it up in colors, standing in solidarity with the LGBT community.
Okay.
Across 4 cities in Germany when the game is going to be played. So basically, they want to do that because they want to stand with all the silenced LGBT community within Hungary. But UEFA, which is basically the governing body of this tournament, they told Germany not to do that.
Yeah.
Because they don't want it to be political. But Germany's like, fuck that. They even had a fucking petition going on where they got like a lot of people to sign on to say, no, we want our country to stand for LGBT rights. And so, yeah, they're basically telling UEFA, fuck off, and they're going to put the colors lights on while the thing is going to be playing. So that's all well and good. But Hungarian foreign minister basically slammed Munich's proposal. And they said that in Hungary, we passed a law to protect Hungarian children. And now Western Europe, they're griping about it. They want to express this by including politics in a sporting event, which has nothing to do with passing of national laws. So he is true in a sense, like we're basically bringing politics into sports. So what do you guys think? Like who's got the right take?
You gotta tread carefully here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see where they're coming from. Like I understand not
Who's they?
Hungary. I understand not introducing like young kids to the idea of like homosexuality, transgender, etc. Because they don't know. Like they won't know until they're older what they want to be like. If they want to be transgender, if they want to be gay or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But it's because like at a young age, your brain is easily you can be, what's the word, like molded into whatever your environment is, right? And they don't want people. I understand that they don't want the kids to be influenced by stuff like this. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to be influenced by. It's just they want them to get older and then get all the information that they can get on it. But it's also a double standard in a way that they're introducing them to straight stuff like heterosexuality, but not homosexuality. So it's like, are they doing the right thing by not introducing them to homosexuality? And if that's the case, then it's saying that homosexuality is a bad influence, and we don't want them to be growing up around that stuff. But heterosexuality is natural, and we do want them to be growing up around that stuff. So it's like, I don't think there's a right answer. I feel like you can argue on both sides, but I also agree with was it UEFA, right? They said that they don't want politics in sporting events, and I think again that's fair. Like NBA did the complete opposite. They did include politics in their sports completely, right?
Yeah, sure.
And I think that was good because it, like a lot of people look up to NBA players. Like I look up to like fucking Joe Ingles and like Alex Caruso
because they're like 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
That's why I look up.
Yeah, exactly. Like Alex Caruso is easily one of the NBA goats, right?
Yeah.
But
how about you give us an example of like NBA politics,
like when the whole George Floyd situation happened and they all took a knee, and NBA was posting about donation links and talking about how they support their black players, etc.
Yeah.
I think that was good because that shows that the young people who are growing up seeing these NBA players, it shows them that hey, like we should promote equality, etc., etc. But in UEFA, and it's also a much bigger platform. Like NBA is not as big as soccer. at all.
This is almost like a worldwide.
It's like a worldwide thing, and NBA is not really worldwide.
Yeah.
But it's I think it gives off a bad impression to the kids. Like if UEFA doesn't promote homosexuality, then homosexuality is bad.
Actually,
what I'm
it's like the thing with UEFA is they're kind of like going against their own mission statements, because they openly say that we're like an anti-racist organization, and we support equality, and we want the freedom of the sport and the people who play it, right? They want to be like unified, and the world should be one. So they say all these fancy pretty things, but when it actually comes to like doing it, they're powerful people in the committee in UEFA who are just like best buddies with the Hungarian prime ministers and shit, right?
Yeah.
So the foreign ministers and stuff. So yeah, they'll just be like, oh, my homie said no, so I'm just gonna say fuck you, right? You can't play.
homie.
You can't put this light on. So yeah, I mean, they do contradict themselves here. And what's interesting is that like Germany, they basically defied UEFA. They were like, no, we don't even care what you're saying. We're still gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so then what happened naturally was that UEFA said we're gonna put some strict repercussions in place if you go against us. So they might like even God knows they might kick Germany out of the tournament or something. So in that condition, one of the other ministers in Germany was saying that if they, if UEFA says the match is being played in Munich, so there was like if they don't allow the lighting to go on in Munich, then we'll put lights on in like 4 other cities in Germany at the same time. It doesn't matter.
What was the justification for why Hungary did that? Why they passed that law?
So what he said, that contents for children for a certain age can misunderstand, and which may have a detrimental effect on their development at a given age, or which children simply cannot process, and which could therefore confuse their developing moral values or their image of themselves or of the world, said a Hungarian spokesperson as to why they kind of banned it. It also means that only individuals and organizations listed as official register can carry out sex education classes in schools, a measure targeting organizations with dubious professional background, often established for the representation of specific sexual orientations.
So they're implying that being heterosexual is the natural thing.
I don't think they're directly saying that. What they're saying is that like kids are kind of impressionable at a young age, and we don't want like kind of.
But if they're teaching sex education, but they don't want them seeing homosexual sex education, then they're gonna show like normal. Oh fuck! I just canceled myself. Like heterosexual sex education, right? Or are just gonna be like, here's a penis, here's a vagina. We'll teach you the rest like when you're 18. To be continued.
Bro.